Come on, YouTube, you can do it. I believe in you.
I don't
Oh,
think
what the
you
hell?
can.
Why did this take so long? Okay, here we go.
So you're saying YouTube doesn't acknowledge our existence?
And we're live. Whoa, weird things are happening in YouTube land. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the number one. Oh, I think did it catch the beginning? Oh, I don't know. Not the number one. The number two work in progress shit show on the internet. What are we calling ourselves? This is Work in Progress Wednesday. I'm here with my good friends Kajan. You want to say hi, Kajan?
Hi.
Hi. And Tactical D-Bag. Want to say hi, Tactical?
Yo.
Yo. I believe that we'll also be joined by Darth Bob a little later, but he's swinging in at some point. And yeah, I am Mr. Pink, otherwise known as Modern Synthesist. This is our Work in Progress Wednesday stream where we talk random hobby stuff, sometimes Tyranny related, sometimes elsewise, and do hobby things and answer hobby questions if people have hobby questions. So, first I wanted to acknowledge this cursed thing up on the screen here. This was created by none other than the lovely Nora the Norn Queen, love of my life. She has fallen deep, deep, deep into a chat GPT hole. And I was like, oh man, I want to like do this Mariah Carey joke for our stream on Wednesday because the title for the stream is All I Want for Christmas is Glue, because it's like hobby stuff. And I was like talking to Nora and I'm like, how am I going to do like Mariah Carey and Warhammer? She was like, why don't I just put that into chat GPT for you? And it made this hideous thing. So I'm sorry subjecting people to AI art, but it made me laugh.
Sort of as a counterpoint to our conversation from right before we started the stream, though, I have been told that ChatGPT is a weird homophone for our francophone
Oh,
friends.
chat GPT?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was going around Instagram. I saw this too. Apparently, if you speak, I don't know. This guy was saying that if you speak French, the way that you pronounce chat GPT is chat GPT. And chat is a French word for a cat. And j'ai means I have. And pété means farted. So apparently in French, chat GPT is cat I farted. That's what it means. I think that's hilarious. Someone messaged me after I posted that and said, like, no, that's not true. But I'm like, I don't know, man. For the French that I know, it works. Yeah, so starting it off with AI talk, like we always like to, I just needed to introduce that because I'm very proud of Nora having created. But now we'll get rid of it.
I feel like we have deeply offended Dwarvenage.
Why? What did Dwarfench say?
I despise it. I
Oh
despise
no.
Mariah and
Oh
her Christmas
no. Oh
song. I
no.
despise
I've
nothing
okay.
more than that song.
Guys, is anyone looking for a job as a video editor? Because I think I just burned my video editor. I don't think Dwarfenage will ever want to work with me ever again. Because I went Mariah Carey in that Christmas song. So was
I
that?
think we've just all come to. I think we've just all come to expect that at this point, this is the Mariah Carey season. Like it's at the
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
unfortunately unavoidable aspect of this like time of the
I don't know.
year.
I think it's coming back around. I think there are children who grew up listening to that song who are now adults and they're like, I've had enough. Like
And I
I,
hope so.
I think that it's coming to its end. I'm predicting that Mariah
Please,
Carey will be
future
no more.
generations.
Soon people
Please,
will not
future
get this reference. They'll be like, what? Why is there a lady singing in Space Marine armor on your thing?
I mean,
Yeah.
I always imagined it was like that's black and white movie that is always seems to be always running in the USA.
Oh,
Breakfast
It's a
is
Wonderful
Tiffany's.
Life?
So yeah,
Oh.
that's the one.
I don't
I
know.
imagine Mariah Carey's songs are like that.
Yeah. I wanted to say hello to that storyboard guy. Or sorry, I always call him that storyboard guy.
I mean, he is that one, but he's
No,
also
it's because I know like that Kroot guy. So like when I think like guy, I'm like the storyboard guy joining us all the way from Australia. Good to have you here, buddy. And then we've just got Dwarfenage, Kajan, and Will in the chat. My three kind of co-host, well, two co-hosts and other admin on the channel. So we have no friends. Fantastic. Maybe if I switch to live chat. Nope, still no friends. So storyboard guy, I'm glad you're here with us because otherwise
we're all friends here.
this would be a sad state of affairs. Before we
At
get
least
to the thing that I want to talk about next, which is this lovely cover of the next White Dwarf, episode 495. Issue 495 hasn't been released yet, only to subscribers. But we got a subscriber give us an inside track on what's showing up in this White Dwarf, and I am telling you, fun Tyranid friends, you're gonna be happy. So definitely look forward to that. We'll do a little trip through. But before we do that, Kajan, can you give us an update on what's been going on in your hobby life in the last 2 weeks?
Well, I've been kind of busy with real life stuff. I've started playing the new Rogue Trader game, and yeah, still
Oh,
working
how is
on
that?
my. Hmm?
How is that new Rogue Trader game? I've seen it pop up on like my ad feeds because
Nah,
the algorithm, like
I
Rogue
mean,
Trader.
I think it's great. It's a modified version of the Dark Heresy rule set. I mean, they simplified a lot of things, so there are no hit zones and all that bogus stuff where you would end up with like a 10% chance to hit. But they really they improved it, and I like it. What they've done with the Dark Heresy D100 system. Um, yeah, people are reporting bugs and stuff like that. I've played like 8 hours. I mean, don't have that much time, but I've played like 8 hours and I didn't encounter any bugs, so I can't confirm that there's any issue.
Okay,
Other than that,
cool. I'm worried that we might be freezing on YouTube or something. YouTube's giving me like weird errors right now that I'm not really understanding. So I sent a message to I sent a message to Aaron, or maybe Dwarfenage. I guess Dwarfenage could help out. But I just want to check if. Hold on, I got this up. Dwarfenage. Dwarfenage, if you hear this and everything's fine, can you let us know that it's cool in the chat?
I saw the message pop up on the YouTube page chat though.
Oh, what's it giving you on the YouTube feed? What's it saying?
Oh no, I just saw your message pop up
We did. Oh,
at the
okay. So it's
very
actually,
just
least.
getting to people now.
Orphanage's reply.
yeah, it's going to. Dwarvenage says there was a quick starter, but it's fixed.
Okay, apparently it's working. Well, I'm still getting an angry yellow YouTube bar, and I can't actually watch my own video, so I'm just gonna pause my own video on my monitoring thing here. And we'll just go
Aaron,
ahead. So you've been playing Rogue Trader. That's awesome. There's bugs,
Yeah,
but you haven't encountered any?
no, Dornage just said he thinks it's weird that the game launched with romances, but there are no same gender romances, and I have no idea
Uh-oh.
about any of that. So it's not why I'm playing a Warhammer 40k game for.
Yeah, but
It's
like
yeah
if you're gonna like build that in, that's like building in like half of a function. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna
yeah,
let you
but
drive vehicles in this, but only land
on,
raiders and never rhinos. Like what?
yeah, but on the other hand, their last game even had trans woman in it and stuff like that. So it's not like that's
Ah, but were there
something the
romances?
no, there were not romances. There were a very vital character who you had to get to know really well for her to open up about her origin. It was really nicely done. The way that information is presented. But yeah, I'm just saying I don't think it's anything the developer is against, and I'm not so sure if it's an oversight or something else. I have no idea. I'm not far enough in the game yet to have
Okay.
any idea about that.
Um,
Um,
go ahead.
yeah,
I was just gonna say that's your digital hobby. Did you do any analog hobby in the last 2 weeks?
I've been keeping working on Nikki's on Nikki the Nikki inspired. Um, I think I settled on it going to be a Tyrannofax. Um, the the tank thing.
Yeah.
I've been keeping working on that one. As people can't see right now, but I've added more claws and stuff like that to the frontal limbs, and yeah, I've been working away on that. As I said, I didn't have much time. There's also partially because the weather here is crazy again.
Oh yeah, you said it was like raining like nuts. You're worried about flooding, right?
It's been raining for like 2 months straight, and everything is dangerously close to flood. I'm living more or less right next to Rhine, the river Rhine, and yeah, it's close to flooding and stuff like that. So had to prepare for that, and bad storms and stuff like that. So yeah, that was me, my past 2 weeks.
Jeez. All right. Yeah, that's exciting, but maybe not in the way that you'd hope for. Did Darth Bob just join us?
Yes.
Hello, welcome, sir. Glad you could join us.
Hello. Glad to be here.
Well, since you just busted through the door, why don't you tell us what you've been up to hobby-wise for the last 2 weeks?
I've been working on I've been working on mostly packing away my immense backlog of models and hobby materials and stuff to be getting ready to renovate the basement. That's mostly what I've been doing. But I've also been working on my little Gene Stealer priest guy, who's almost done. I just got to add some face tentacles, which I think I'm going to be working on tonight.
Nice.
And then I'm also working on the on a community project thing for Apologist or Death of a Rubricist is running this thing called Ashes of Armageddon.
Yep.
Which is basically like a community invitational project chronicling like the history of the Second War of Armageddon. So I'm working on an orc war boss at the moment. It's not due till the end of January, so I still got a bit to work on him.
Have you done orcs before?
I have not, and I am taking this as an opportunity because orcs have always been one of those things that like has always kind of sat there in the corner. Like I want to do orcs, but I know if I get into orcs, I'm gonna go like whole hog into orcs, and I can't do that to my Tyranids. So an opportunity to just do a small handful of orcs.
Yeah,
I'm not taking that opportunity because it's kind of like it's a set limiting factor of not gonna go crazy and buy like a billion boys.
That's cool. I feel like my danger with doing orcs, I also have never done orcs. But now that I've read more lore, fluff, I feel like if I did orcs, I would want to do quarks. Or Krork? What do we call them? Krorks?
Oh yeah, the Krorks.
Which is the proto-orcs. When the orcs were like big and strong and smart before they got beat down by the old ones or something. Or no, they created them to fight the Necrons or something?
They kind of degenerated after the old ones went away.
Yeah.
Although, like in the Beast Arises books, the whole idea was that when enough orcs get together, they can kind of the collective psychic will of the orcs can create like these super orcs called primorcs, and they're kind of similar spiritually to the Krork.
I mean, the idea is that if orcs get more technologically advanced, the more there are of them, which is
Isn't it like they get smarter?
Which is why the Smurfs are having regular excursion into the orc territories to cull them, to keep them down so they don't advance to the technology level where they go back to quarks and stuff like that.
Okay. Anyway, the quark fascinate me, so that's where I would go if I had to do orcs. And I think that Weirding's Way had like started on that kind of stuff a little bit, which is pretty. Maybe it was just sketches that he did, but it was interesting.
I just really love that. You know, I like that orcs kind of straddle that line of like, or I like it when orcs kind of straddle the line of like being traditional grimdark 40k, but also still embracing the kind of inherent goofiness of them.
Yeah.
I don't like when people go kind of whole hog into one or the other, when they're just like entirely crazy goofy or like entirely stupid grimdark, because I think one is
I've
kind of
never seen grimdark
counterintuitive to the
orcs.
setting, and then one is kind of counterintuitive to orcs.
I don't think I've ever seen grimdark orcs. That's exciting.
They kind of tried to do it in what you call it, in Age of Sigmar with the Cruel Boys. Although I guess the Cruel
Oh,
Boys still have some aspects of that kind of like goofiness.
aren't they like cunning and savage or savage and cunning? Whatever.
They're savagely cunning, I think, is it. They're more core shippers. Although I think the orcs argue about which one is which, as
Yeah, that
orcs
sounds
are
like an
wont
orc thing
to
to
do.
do.
But yeah, so doing some orc stuff, doing a little bit of Gene Stealer stuff, doing a little bit of everything.
Cool.
Just kind of chilling, working
Nice.
on various random hobby projects
When you
because I have the attention span of a goldfish.
don't worry, I have that problem, and I'm very lucky that you also do, and that you forgive mine because aren't I supposed to be making you a Tyranid right now?
That's fine. This gives me time to get my painting skills up to par that I can actually do some justice when it's finished.
Okay, that's a good excuse. Let's
That's
go with
the
that.
ticket.
Yeah. Will, how about you? How's your hobby journey going the last 2 weeks?
Last 2 weeks have been hectic because of the holidays here stateside. I had like some family coming in out of town, and then planning for that and stuff that kind of waylaid me. But over the last like 2 weeks, I want to say, I've been working on this Broodlord repos that I've been posting on like
Oh yeah,
Discord and Instagram. That I'm working on right now, actually.
the running boy.
Leaping running boy, I guess is
Yeah,
accurate.
definitely not falling boy.
I mean, leaping is a very controlled
Graceful
type
form
of
of
falling.
falling.
Falling with
It's
style.
yeah, that's just what I wanted
Falling
to
with.
Beat
Yes.
you to
It's
it.
Buzz Lightyear.
Is that a Buzz Lightyear quote?
Yeah. Well, I guess it's Woody technically. Well, they both say it.
Oh, okay.
It's not flying; it's falling with style.
Oh, okay. That's his red light that blinks. Can I comment?
And we have one above all joined us and said, "Howdy
Hello, one
all."
above all. Thank you for joining us.
Word up.
So what have you been up to, Mr. Pink?
Me, I feel like I should have been doing more hobby than I have been doing. I guess one thing that I have been doing that's been productive and fun is finishing up a new video for the channel with Dwarfenage and Hydra. This one's a double feature where it's me and Hydra doing the me and Hydra doing the Shield Slam, the Simso Shield Slam challenge, where you
Oh.
were challenged to sculpt a face onto a shield. We both filmed our progress, and then Dwarfenage put it together into a video. It's on the channel.
Oh, that was a cool little community project. It was very unique. I kind of wanted to join in, but I just didn't have the time.
I know it can feel that way. I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to do this. I don't know if I'm going to do this. And then it just so happened that like the final weekend that it was running, Nora was away with some friends. So I like had the whole like house to myself, whatever, could do whatever the heck I wanted. Not that that would stop me normally, but it opened up my mind to like doing like more hobby than I normally would. Because I didn't feel that, we should be having dinner together. Like, I should do some hobby and then we should like hang out a bit. But yeah, I was just hanging out with my dog and myself. So I was like, well, I'm going to start on this Shield Slam thing on Friday night, and I think I'll have some more time to work on it on Saturday. So I started it on Friday night, and I just went for it. I mean, check the video for more, but like I sat down and said that I was going to do a substructure for a shield, and then I was going to come back and do the detail. And I just got so much in the groove that I did all the sculpting that one session with Epoxy Sculpt. So it can happen. It can take less time than you think.
Yeah, it seemed cool and pretty like low commitment,
Yeah. It
which
was a
is
fun challenge for
nice.
me because I don't sculpt faces a lot. Sculpt weird monsters.
One thing that has been interesting for me going through like packing up my hobby stuff is like I'm finding things that I've like forgot I bought. like like
Uh-oh.
more stuff than I thought I had that I forgot that I bought. Like I found I just like was there was like a random cardboard box in the corner and I opened it up and it was like at least 30 little blisters of unopened Night Models Batman game
Oh, man.
miniatures that I totally forgot I bought.
Well, was the stuff you bought, was stuff you found at least, like, useful? Or was it, like those
Some of it is.
Batman Night miniatures, like, are you hoping to maybe use those someday? Or are you like, oh, man, my love for these has passed?
I mean, I do like superheroes. I don't know how popular that game is. They might be fun models just to like paint up and display.
Well, 25
Um,
blisters, you might have enough to, like, outfit a game for 2 people.
yeah, probably. Because there's a couple different I don't know what they call them, like war bands. I got like a
gangs.
yeah, the gang. I've got like the Bane, one with Bane and his crew. I've got one with the Joker. I've got Batman and
So
a
one of
couple of
my,
the
like, worst
rogues.
justifications, or maybe best, depending on, like, how you look at it, for, like, collecting armies if I don't play that much, is, like, I've literally thought sometimes, like, what if there's one day there's no more Games Workshop, and, like, Warhammer is not a thing? I'll be able to use all these books I've been hoarding for years, and all these miniatures I've been hoarding for years to, like, start some Warhammer with some friends after the death of Games. It's so nuts, but I have thought that before. Just
Yeah, I think if like the late 2000s, early 2010s Games Workshop didn't kill Games Workshop, I don't
You're
think
right. It's
current
not gonna
Games
die.
Workshop is gonna die
It's
anytime
invulnerable.
soon.
I mean, it could always be bought by something else, like Wizard of the Coast or something.
True. True. Oh, sorry. So I got sidetracked. So what I was saying is that the most of the hobby work I've been doing is on the video. I haven't been doing that much other than that. I've been putting together some cards for Patreon supporters, because I'm sending all of my generous Patreon supporters a festive card with a little something something in it. It's just a sticker. Don't get too excited. It's a great sticker, but it's just a sticker. And yeah, so that involves a lot of writing and addressing and all that stuff. So it's not that sexy, but doing that. And wishing that I was doing more like hobby because I don't know how much I said, but like we had to cancel a stream because my dad was having some health issues. He's still
Oh, I'm sorry
dealing.
about that.
Yeah, he's still dealing with those health issues, and it leaves me like sometimes like inspired because I want to do something that isn't like thinking about that, and sometimes like not like fully uninspired. So like last night I was feeling like totally that's why I did cards. But I haven't been
Well,
feeling
that's
as
fair.
much of the
Sometimes
hobby
you need some
mojo.
time for personal stuff.
What's that?
I said that's cool. Sometimes you need time for personal stuff like that.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a bit dumb because like I'm not doing that much with him because he's in the hospital and they have like an outbreak in the hospital of COVID. So we
Mhm.
can't even visit him. Like we can call him, we can talk to him that way. But like I literally got the wrong message, went to visit him today, got there and the nurse is like, "Oh, you can't visit him. We're on outbreak." Like, but someone told me because I'm like this kind of person and his family and I'm like authorized that I could come visit him. And she's like, "Oh yeah, you can like come like that, but you have to stay with him all day and like provide all his care." And I'm like, "Okay, this is confusing and I need to go back to
What?
work." So, sorry, that's a long way of saying that we can't even visit him, which is shitty. So hopefully they get over the lockdown thing soon so that we can get in and see him because like he's an old dude, he's lonely.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's been sapping some of my hobby mode.
Understandable.
Yeah. So oh wait, we've gotten through everyone now. All right, well then let's get the hobby mojo running because I got something that's gonna make Tyranid people very happy. Darth Bob, I don't know if you've seen this yet on the old Discord arena, so this might be
I
fresh
don't
for
know if
you.
I have either.
Okay, you see this big beautiful image here up in the. I'm gonna put this. Oh shit, spoiled it. I'm just gonna not be able to get to this damn picture. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this over my stuff because if I'm trying to drive the car, I'm not gonna be able to do this too. Oh, you guys are here too. You're just hidden. Oh, way too many windows open. Okay. Oh my God. Here we go. Font. Locked. Locked. Yeah, so I swear that, like, the theme for this stream was to talk about, like, hobby wish lists, you know, like the holidays, you know, like, oh, what do you want? Like, don't sing that Mariah Carey song thing. So we are going to get to that, but first this came up and I thought it was too good to not share on the stream because I know that we are known for doing some Tyranid stuff, and this is definitely a piece of juicy Tyranid info that Tyranid people need to know about. So the new White Dwarf comes out on Saturday, I think. It's issue 495, but folks who are subscribed to White Dwarf got theirs early. And this is the front cover. I don't subscribe to White Dwarf, so I didn't know that the cover has the sexy, like, it's like satin, whatever the letters on, and you can mostly just see the model, so that's pretty neat. Big old Norn assimilator, which I like a little bit more than the Norn emissary, so I'm happy to see that boy. But the real deal is once you open this sucker, because then you are treated to the kind of article on Tyranids that I would have expected to have come out with Leviathan, not like this much later. I'm just going to kill this camera.
Oh, I did see this. Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, so yeah, in this month's White Dwarf, there's this awesome feature on all kinds of stuff, really, like Tyranid design. Like it talks about like the history of the Tyranids, and like down along the bottom here you can see there's like a gradient of the different sizes of Tyranids. Like, how cool is that? And then that gradient continues onto the other page, and it shows the assimilator being taller than the Trigon. I feel like someone checked that and it wasn't the case, but maybe it's because they're counting the spikes or the spires. But we've got like some of Jess's sketches here from like distant past, distant memory of Tyranids. Notably, they only showed Jess's sketches there, not any of the other artists, but whatever. And this is amazing. I love this. This is a timeline of Tyranid models, and as Darth Bob, right, Darth Bob. Okay, right. Now I remember that you have definitely seen this. As Darth Bob rightly pointed out, I believe that this is the first time I've ever seen the Protonid in print. You were saying that this is the first time you've ever seen the Protonid in print?
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're like I said in that stream way back. I think there are some people who said that the Protonid was in like a White Dwarf special order catalog. That was like the thing that people were debating whether it was officially an unreleased model or not.
Oh, okay.
But as far as like official GW publication in the modern age, yeah, I think this is the first time it's ever been published in any like White Dwarf or anything, as far as I'm aware.
Cool. It's really good to see it there because like it's that weird part of Tyranid. They don't call it the Protonid. They call it like a advanced space crusade alien or something, but you know, we know it's the Protonid. And we've been burning these secret candles for this Tyranid that Games Workshop seemed to have forgotten existed, but no. They're still keeping track of it in their archives here, and now they're sharing it with everybody. Although it's not a full picture of it, which is too bad. But
I do find it kind of funny how like saturated Tyranid like milestones are from like 1987 to like 2004, and then like after that it's very barren.
Yeah,
we don't talk about that time period.
The dark times.
That's another cool like element of this, that you can really just track Tyranid history. And I've been meaning for a while to go and anyone who's followed me for a long time knows that I used to have a series of articles on my blog, the Modern Synthesis website, blog, whatever, called the Tyranid Archive. And it was kind of like a generation by generation record of like Tyranid models and releases, and just kind of like talking about like the timeline of them. And I was doing that religiously like back in the early 2000s when I was more on top of my blog, and then it got to like, I don't know, 6th edition or whatever, and I lost track of Tyranids for a while there and didn't update the blog, so I got to go back and do some stuff. But I was thinking about making video versions of these kind of articles, and now I can either use this Games Workshop timeline to help me make my video version, or I can just put this timeline in my video because they did all the work, and no, we don't need my video anymore.
The Advanced Space Crusade Warriors. I love those guys.
Are they there?
It's kind of interesting that they, you know, there was a time when gene stealers were not Tyranids, but you would think that they would have like tracked, you know, the gene stealer timeline within this as well, and kind of
Oh, they probably want to
specified
use that
like
for Cult.
when gene
If they ever do this
stealers.
for Cult, they want to use that for that. I don't
That's
know.
true. That's a good point.
But you're right that like there should be more. There's a little bit of Space Hulk here, isn't there?
Yeah, they do mention Space Hulk.
Because that like that's what I feel is more of like the Gene Stealer vehicle, Space Hulk.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, anyway, I think this timeline is super cool, and it's cool to like have this here. It's cool that they included like weird models, not just like the ones you can like currently still buy. Yeah, it's really cool, and it feels like the kind of thing you should do for like, what is it, the 40th anniversary of 40K or something like that.
Feels like something that they should do more of in White Dwarves instead of the White Dwarves being glorified shopping catalogs.
Agreed. Yeah, like I love this kind of content. So, like, I don't subscribe to White Dwarf, but I'm gonna go buy this White Dwarf like right away on the weekend because
if it was more stuff like this, I would subscribe to White Dwarf.
Yeah, and like I used to remember that when like the Tyranid releases would come out, they would do like many pages on the Tyranids. Like, here's the models, here's how we thought about them, here's this, here's that, and I was really looking forward to that for this like Leviathan release, and then we got a little bit of it. Like the White Dwarf right after Leviathan release, they had an interview with the designers about like how they designed the Tyranids in Leviathan. It wasn't as in depth. Actually, I don't think it was as in depth as this. They went through the models, but anyway, that was cool. But then I was waiting for that for like the wave with the lictors in it and all that, and then that never came for that wave. So it was kind of like internal inconsistency there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm glad we have this now, because this, I feel like, is getting back to that kind of stuff. And let's see what else is on offer here. So this is the first part of the timeline. And then we click over, and then we've got the next part of the timeline, which is where like the big samey monsters get released. There's Leviathan, there's the Parasite. I still don't know who designed the Parasite. I really want to know. I don't think it says there. But if anyone can figure out who designed the Parasite of Mortrex, if it was listed in a White Dwarf somewhere and I don't know about it, please let me know.
I bet if you message one of the people who designed the current,
I
models,
messaged one of the people who designed the current ones, and they told me they didn't know.
Oh, really?
So that was a bit of a bummer.
Wow. Mystery.
Might have been political, or maybe they just don't know. And then this is cool. So rule of 6. So it's talking about like I haven't actually read all this. I just like glanced through it, but I think this is talking about the limbs. And then I don't know what's being talked about here with the Hormigaunt and the Barbgaunt and the Death Leaper, but whatever. There's a thing down here. It looks like it's on winged Tyranids because it's all kinds of winged Tyranid pictures. Keeps going. They actually give us the official Games Workshop word for the vents on Tyranid limbs. So like they're called heat sinks apparently. Spore chimneys and heat sinks. I don't love the heat sink name, but there you go. It's official.
It's shocking to me that it's taken this long for us to get an answer on what the fuck
I swear they called them gills once or something, and I don't know where I got like vents, but
I always had them as heat sinks clocked down. Maybe not literally the word, but that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, like
That's
the function. I agree with the function. Like, but I'm more talking about like the word. Like when I was calling them vents, like the function was pretty much that.
I just always assumed this, like the little like lines and gilly looking things on like the side of limbs were just like exposed tendons for God knows what reason.
Me too.
That's also a good explanation. I can get behind that. Anyway, we all have our own headcanons about it, and maybe we think our headcanons are better than Games Workshop. But the official Games Workshop answer is heat sinks.
I mean, I think design wise, they're just meant to emulate. There's a very similar detail on the alien, so I think it's mainly meant to just emulate that, and they had to.
Good point.
What are you talking about? It's a totally original aesthetic preference, and it's definitely not based off of any other IP.
You're right. You're right. My mistake.
Yeah, we call it the shinin because we don't want to get sued.
Slime Arbo.
Oh, right. I never knew that was the reference. That one.
How did you not know that
No,
was
I
a
was a
reference?
kid. I was a kid. What the fuck do I know? I learned the
Oh,
word.
as
I
a
learned the
kid, I was
word.
gonna say.
I learned the word ethereal from Games Workshop, and for years I thought
Oh.
it was ethereal.
Yeah, in fairness, I didn't know that Eldar was taken from Tolkien, which is actually taken from Norse mythology, I think.
Could be. Yeah, I think that's Norse. Anyway, yeah, so sport chimneys, heat sinks, we have a name for them now. Look at that. There's a whole page on them. And this is really cool. Like, they go in and they look at like all these different like kinds of carapaces, head carapaces. Like, it's like they're going in, it's like they got the notes from Simon and Marco about everything looking like a gaunt head. They're like, no, 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 no. See all the variation we've introduced in the line. This is so cool. This shit I love. And then they've got like other stuff like ribs and stuff and arms. I don't know. And then they've got like, this one's called adaptations. I want them to take this out and put it in a book. I want this to be in the codex, damn it. Like, wouldn't this be cool codex content? God damn. Because that codex was so bare on the ground. When I read it, I was like, this is
bio-umbilicals.
What?
Yeah, but they don't do that in the codex.
Umbilicals.
It says that? All right, so this is, and then this is cool. They've got like all the different, like all kinds of different weapons. I don't know if this is every weapon. Is it? Maybe. Well, I love how they do that.
Neck.
They have the heavy venom cannon from the Hive Tyrant, and then they've got the venom cannon from the Tyranid Warrior. I swear to God, those are the same length. That one is so big, the Tyranid Warrior one.
They are the same length.
Oh man.
The only difference is the size of the arm that's holding them.
Okay.
At least I held two of them next to each other, and the barrel length is the same.
Okay. But at least like when they redid the Warrior kit, they redid the Barbed Strangler to make it more like thin. Actually, that's closer to like what it used to look like rather than the big thick one, which is, God, look at me talking about thin ones and thick ones. This is getting a bit gross. Yeah, so at least there's differentiation there. Anyway, it's cool that they like show all the weapons here and like explain what they all are. And there's a couple of other pages that for some reason my computer doesn't want to show, which is dumb. But you know, you get the idea. There's like at least 2 or 3 more pages of this, and this is like deep Tyranid content. So I'm buying this.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I think I'm gonna get it too.
I usually don't get stuff like this, but I do. I remember Corvus Belli on their website. They would periodically do blog posts explaining like the design process of like their new models, and I love like when people kind of get into the design philosophy of like why they do something, make some choices, and talking about within factions, what kind of features, design DNA, they want to perpetuate and stuff. Yeah. And I find it endlessly fascinating, as we all do. I agree that I wish GW would do more of this.
Yeah.
It's far more engaging.
Yeah, and like, yeah, like I don't, you've got a website, listen, like you do like all these excellent preview streams. I know what your models look like. I'm already planning my purchases months in advance. Like, if you're going to charge me $15 for a White Dwarf, like, if it's got content like this Tyranid article, worth it. If all it is like, well, I don't know. I think the thing that stops me from buying White Dwarf is that I'm not into Age of Sigmar. And like, they do a very good job of splitting the magazine. Like, I'm only into 40k, and I feel like if there was just a 40k White Dwarf, I'd subscribe. But if they did that, no one would subscribe to the other one.
Yeah.
And like, if I'm not into a game, the amount of content they give in a White Dwarf is more than I need. Like, I can find out that cool models are coming out for Age of Sigmar that I might want to buy through like the preview streams that I watch obsessively, but I guess not everyone.
Usheran.
Like, I'll post something and people will be like, oh my God, where'd that come from? I'm like, were you not obsessively watching the preview stream?
I mean, some of them are set at some ungodly times.
Oh, true. But you can always go back and read the article on like Warhammer. That's what I mean. Like, are you not obsessively checking Warhammer community like I am? Which is a saner way to be. Like, I appreciate them living their life like that. I don't need that stuff
But we don't
reiterated.
live in the same world.
Yeah, I
over
guess
here.
I guess it's just like a question of like who is the audience for White Dwarf, because I've plugged this before, but the painting phase, they did that interview with the Games Workshop product designer, and like one of the best parts about that is that he's like, yeah, I know you don't like this decision, but guess what, we don't care about you, like you're such a small part of the member base or the customer base that like people who have been in the hobby for like 20-30 years are not buying as much as new people, so they're not going to gear their products and stuff like that to us because we're more likely to go out and buy like a god hand thing because we know stuff. So it
That's
would be
true.
cool to hear from him what the audience of White Dwarf is. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to see how much of a dent the White Dwarf subscriptions puts in their profits, like or like how much it constitutes their overall profits.
Yeah, I would guess little, but
You
yeah,
would think, but I don't know.
who knows?
I actually on that topic, I found out a pretty interesting anecdote the other day about um Blizzard. Actually, it was
Yeah.
like an ex-Blizzard developer who said the one of the $15 microtransaction mounts for World of Warcraft made more money for Blizzard than the entire profits of StarCraft 2.
Oh no. Oh no.
And you and
Oh
I that was shocking
no.
to me.
That
But
hurts.
it
That
just
just
goes to
shows
show how
how
like
we are never
those
getting
little
another
things.
StarCraft game because they don't care.
Yeah. But it just goes to show like how like those little things that you don't think like how much money are they really making off of this, those could be like end up being like the backbone. Like I'd be really interested to see how much money Games Workshop's actually making off of Warhammer Plus.
Yes, I don't think they're making a lot. I thought that like in their earnings thing that they like mentioned that it wasn't making a lot of money. Maybe I'm making that up. Oh, the famous story that I remember as you talk about that and Blizzard and the amount making more in StarCraft 2. I don't know how true this is, but the story that I hear is that the reason that they canceled Warhammer Fantasy is that they were making more money selling black paint, black spray primer or something than they were on like Fantasy before Age of Sigmar. Because folks had their miniatures already. They didn't have to go buy more. But
Yeah, I mean, I think the main problem with Warhammer Fantasy is it had a really harsh like it was not very easy to get into. It was not as easy to get into
ah,
as 40K was.
okay.
The
Is the
rule system was
tactics and the
just a lot
movement?
more traditional wargaming than I think
Oh,
40K was.
I've never heard that one before. That's good to know.
Like it has a lot of like formations.
Yep.
I think it also, yeah, as Mr. Pink kind of mentioned, an older gamer base to begin with.
Like more established.
So yeah, so like most of them had most of the stuff. I mean, they only had to get like a couple of the new things here and there, but like, and I feel like for whatever reason, their move to plastic wasn't quite maybe as successful as 40K's was.
The fantasy move, you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, like the initial line of plastics that, like, because looking at the older Tyranid plastic line, and compared to the newer stuff, like even just looking at the gaunts, like you can see the quality jump that like 20 years has been,
Yeah.
in terms of like how they're able to design the stuff, the sculpting itself, how the kits fit and everything, and you know a, they were very slow, I think, to transition a lot of the models in fantasy to plastic,
Hmm.
and even like keeping them up to date. So like, I mean, like I used to play high elf, so like the old high elf spear elves are like notoriously like kind of crappy. Like they
Yeah.
got like big old gorilla hands, like
Are
very
these
low
plastic?
detail. Yeah, they're plastic, but they were like just kind of shitty. And then like even when they started upgrading more of the special units that were traditionally like metal into plastic, like they were clunky. Like the detailing was just very clunky. Everything was just not like for the most part not as nice as like the metal like things that everybody already had like 25, 50 to do your giant infantry blocks or whatever.
Yeah.
So just like, why would I spend money on like inferior product that I already have like, more than enough of the good stuff.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, I feel
I
like
mean,
that's a bit of a departure from the White Dwarf. I think it's really cool. I just wanted people to be aware of it if you like this kind of stuff, because I definitely like this kind of stuff. And you can go check it out. This weekend it's on sale. I don't know if it has a Norn Emissary on the cover or Norn Assimilator on the cover. I hope so, but I guess we'll have to see. Yeah, so that
to
concludes the White Dwarf portion of things.
yeah,
Huh?
to get in here for a moment, we have Tom Wilson joined us in
Well,
chat.
thank you. Yeah.
James Mahood joined us, and Hoji
Hooch?
H O
Hooge.
O J Hooge.
My boy
Okay.
Hooge. Hooge is one of my supporters on Patreon. You see
Welcome.
Hooge?
Thera also joined us, and he's hoping everybody's well with this coming
Thanks, Tara.
Christmas season. Tyler Blevins also joined us, I believe, unless he didn't say anything and was with us the entire time.
Could well have been.
And I asked earlier what people were working on, and only Dwarven Age replied and said he was making videos and sculpting a big dog.
Good old Dwarfenage.
Dog.
And James Mahood said, bring back the glory days of 4th, probably 4th edition. I kind of disagree with that. When we're talking about quality of codexes and White Dwarfs, I would be your cameras off.
Yeah, it came back. Don't worry, I figured it.
Okay.
Yes.
And I would say 2nd edition was, for me, was the best one, where we still had the detailed descriptions of everything.
Yeah, I like
where
second.
you and you had those inlets where you where they would be either explaining how to put together models and stuff like that, how paint instructions and stuff like that. I miss that stuff in our new modern codices.
Yeah, agreed.
It's a part of the hobby that I feel makes the hobby more interesting,
Yeah.
more engaging for the people, but for some reason it almost completely disappeared.
I wonder if it's like they don't think that people care about that as much or something, so they don't put as much money. Like, how much money are we really making off these codex books? Like, we have to put so much content into them, but we only sell them for this.
Yeah, but for me that was the reason why I got excited about Warhammer.
Oh, I agree. Like, I'm not saying that it's a good decision, but I'm wondering if it's been like a victim of trying to justify costs or something, which is crummy because it is so much. Well, I don't know. It's also weird, right? Because when we got into this, there weren't like intricate websites giving us like the fluff for our faction or like all these resources of people writing about it. Like, I think you could probably find a lot more just for free these days. Like, you don't need the codex in the way that you did before, because it was like your one avenue for this information. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Yeah,
they've been trying to migrate that to their website as well, right? To a certain extent.
Yeah, they have those cool new articles
that's-
about like how to collect Tyranids or something like that, and they're actually really good. Like, they're thorough.
That's just their
but they are
Warhammer
hard.
community, blogs essentially. I think
Yeah.
that's sort of supplanted their need to have that kind of hobby information in the codices.
Yeah.
So the codices are like almost like more
Just army
um
lists.
for the wargaming gaming side of things, and I think that they've sort of shifted that discourse of the hobby aspect more online.
Mhm.
But I think that's sort of just kind of speculation. I'm not
Yep.
entirely sure that's 100% accurate, but it feels that way.
Okay, that's how you're
See, I'm
thinking
gonna
about it.
be the misanthrope here and say that Games Workshop doesn't give a shit about the hobby anymore, especially when they're putting out, things like you have to get your frickin' conversions approved to take them to a goddamn
Okay,
tournament.
listen. As the guy who posted that thing on Instagram, I feel beholden to say that I checked in with someone, Made, friend of the channel, who is like notoriously active, not notoriously, that's the wrong word for it, who is super active in the competitive gaming scene with Games Workshop, does heavy conversions. Like he was one of the finalists for Inner Circle in 2017, and I thought he was going to beat me because he had such a cool converted AdMech army, and he uses that converted army in tournaments, and he says he's never emailed them to get his stuff approved before, and no one has ever challenged him. He's been doing this for years. So I think it's Games Workshop covering their own ass. Like they got to put that in there so that someone can't roll up with like a ridiculous. Oh, I posted this on my like gaming group Discord, and someone's like, "Yeah, I think that's just so that no one rolls up with like an army full of prone guardsmen, like modeling for advantage sort of thing, so that if someone does that, they can point to that thing in the tournament organizer's handbook and be like, "Hey, we said in here that you had to have your conversions vetted. You didn't get your conversions vetted, you bad boy." Yeah, it.
I have to wonder how, but like with an AdMech force, it's like, okay, if you have like a full army of like fully converted AdMech guys, but they're still recognizable for what they are, cool.
They're not.
But then I
This
look at
stuff is like
like a
super converted.
situation like Weirding's Way's Navigator household, which were count as Grey Knights that he used at tournaments.
Did he use them at
Would that
tournaments?
fly?
Wait, or did he use them at community events?
No, he used them at tournaments.
Oh, okay.
Now, I think this was mostly in the period of time where Games Workshop wasn't really supporting official tournaments, but he would use them in like Adepticon, Gen Con. He would use them in like real tournaments. And
Oh,
like I
cool.
have to
Okay, I
wonder,
didn't
like,
realize.
would something like that, would that, get shut down by Games Workshop because, your opponent would have to do a modicum of like communication with the other player to understand exactly what is what. And
I don't
will
I
think
don't
they.
know.
say
I'm
I will
fully
say that in
against
the
anything.
context.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say just like at least in the context of Adepticon, like I feel like Adepticon has been in particularly pretty good about versions and counts as stuff, so long as like it's not like everyone looks exactly the same, but this one's got a las cannon and this one's got like just a regular las gun. Like you
Yeah.
Yeah.
can tell because this guy's got one extra dot painted on his pants. Like I
To be
I
clear, I don't know
think
that these people exist. We may be inventing them in our heads. Like this is a bit
Yeah.
straw
They do
manny, but
exist. They do exist.
Oh,
I've
they,
encountered them.
okay.
yeah, they definitely exist, but I don't think it's like like for I think a GW specifically sponsored event, which as Darth Bob mentioned, they were out of that world for a while. I can see them going like, yo, I don't want you, you know, bringing, to GW itself, we don't want you to bring like a table full of IU Butev, like printed
Well, that's a
Tyranids as
separate
your
section, I
Tyranid
think,
armor.
where it says it needs to be Games Workshop,
Right, but
but which is justifiable. I
yeah,
understand that.
yeah, but I think to a certain extent, like if it's small conversions, I think it's mostly gonna be for them to like, if somebody's doing sort of something crappy,
Yeah.
or like it's just remarkably difficult to keep track of like what the hell's what.
Yeah.
I think about locally here. One of the local gamers here was famous for doing a demon's army that he basically used a bunch of uh, plastic sharks
Uh-oh.
as like he painted them up and stuff, and it was like overall the army actually looked pretty neat, but like nothing was GW, and it's just like everything was like clearly, counted as.
Mhm.
But it's like I could see how a GW organizer is like, yo, can you at least like try it somehow? Although I guess that lies sort of more in the purview of like official GW model stuff. But like I can understand like not wanting too many crazy conversions where it's just impossible to tell like what it is. You
Yeah.
want to at least like sort of know what you're going up against, because I'm like looking and I'm like, are you playing like a Tyranid army? It's like, no, this is AdMech. It's like, oh, what's what? Because that looks like a hive tyrant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that like I don't want to get too. The reason I kind of stopped you there, Darth Bob, is that I didn't want to get too far into the hate for that thing, because I'm the guy who posted it, and having had the chance to like review how I felt about it and like talk to people who have more experience with this stuff than I do, it seems like I was maybe making a mountain out of a molehill, as they say. And my bad on that. I looked into it, and it's seems like they don't enforce it that much, and I don't know. Yeah, that I might not have been too charitable in the way that I posted it.
Well, I mean, I don't disagree, but I will say that I think a lot of the stuff Games Workshop has done in recent years has promoted a mentality, even among non-official channels, of kind of demonizing scratch building, demonizing conversion, demonizing count as among the more competitive aspects of the gaming community,
Yeah,
and
but
I think it's
is
really
it
indicative of the
demonizing, or is
hobby.
it discounting, or just ignoring? Like, because demonizing
I
and,
think it demonizes it because, like, I can't tell you how many times I've been on forums, and even like Facebook, where somebody posts a cool conversion, and you'll see a bunch of people commenting like, "Oh, I wouldn't play against this. Oh, this is a cool conversion, but this is like way too big for like
that doesn't
they
mean that's
pose
Games
a hive
Workshop's
tyrant
fault though.
differently."
Those guys could just be asshats. Like, let's be fair.
Yeah, but I think those asshats are more common than you think,
No, I
and
think
I
the
think
asshats
Games
are just the ones who
Workshop's.
take the time to actually comment on it. I think the folks who don't care and think it's cool are just like, yeah, that's fine. Like, it's that whole
Eh,
thing where like you're twice as likely to post a comment if you had a negative experience as if you had a positive experience.
I mean, that's I have friends who game more often than I do.
Yeah, and they run into this all the time.
I have a buddy who has a heavily converted Word Bears army, and he's definitely encountered his fair share when he's tried to get in games in more recent years. So I think it's
Okay.
more common than
Okay.
you might think.
All right.
But I just don't like when I see like official policies like this that, yeah, sure, maybe the officials aren't enforcing it as much, but I think like policies like this more justify people in like non-official capacities to
Right.
act like this.
Right. Good point.
And it discourages people from converting in the first place, because
Yeah.
you have a situation where you look at these rules and you build an army, and even if most officials don't do it, do you risk it? Do you risk not being able to? You spend through what, $500,000 on your army? Do you risk
To be clear,
converting
500
it?
or 1,000, not 500,000.
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't
Uh,
know, with
Do
my
you risk
backlog of stuff, I
converting
wouldn't
it
be
and then
surprised.
not getting to play it? I
yes, you do. You
mean,
absolutely do. That's my opinion. Because at the
uh,
end of the day, don't let Games Workshop tell you how to play with your toys. You should make what
This is true.
inspires
yeah,
you.
but you need to go to places to play with your toys, and
Yeah, there are
if
other
those places have
places.
a rule about you're not getting to play with those toys.
But like, I don't know. I don't need to be able to play with my toys to even appreciate them, because like I'm in it for the art and for the like creation. So it might be
Yeah,
cool to be able to take them
that's
to a Games Workshop
us.
event to get like props on them, but at the end of the day, like I'm making them for me. But that's my motivation. Different people are different, of course.
That's how I feel
Yeah.
about it too. I just think it's sad because it's just such a shift from, I guess the Games Workshop I grew up with.
Yeah, but that's
I
why we have the
remember
internet,
I
right?
remember when they would put out articles where it would be like, "Oh yeah, just You want to convert up this deranged? Go to your local hardware store and buy some EVA foam or whatever.
Yeah, but
Hey,
You know,
man,
and now it's
go
like,
get some, deodorant can. Make
But
yeah, or
Games Workshop
station.
wasn't in the business of selling terrain when those magazines were coming out, so it's a bit like apples
I mean,
and
they had
oranges.
some terrain back then, but I mean, yeah, I guess it's just like it seems like the hobby is taking a back seat to I don't even know what like just making money, which I mean,
Yeah,
like I get
yeah,
Games Workshop's a business, but I don't know. It bothers me. It's always kind of bothered me.
okay. See that? Fair.
I think
Um,
storyboard guy commented. I think with his experiences.
oh yeah, storyboard guys had some experiences about this. All right, I don't want to get too far into this hole because there was stuff that like I said we are going to talk about like wish lists and stuff, and as that's the theme of the
Oh yeah,
stream. What?
yeah.
Right?
Let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. So we're getting into that festive time of year when you know you might be being asked if you want a little gifty and what people should get for you. So if you have any people in your life who you need to drop subtle hits for, just tell them to watch this stream, and you can post your wishes in the comments. Or if the the hosts here need to drop some subtle hints for their partners who definitely watch this stream,
Oh yes,
this is
all
the
the time.
portion to do that because
For sure.
we're gonna be getting into hobby wish listing because it's almost Christmas and all I want for Christmas is glue. See how we brought the theme right around and got rid
Yep.
of dwarfenage again,
I'm
apparently.
excited for her to go back into hibernation.
Oh. It's not even her, it's just like the recording of her, right? Or does she,
Yeah, the recording to go back into hibernation.
Dwarfenage was saying earlier that he can't listen to it. He's been avoiding it this year until I started singing it. Yeah, so I just thought it might be cool to like talk about, I don't know, what you're wishing for in your hobby stocking. And I wanted to make it more interesting than just like, hey, I need some paint or I need a plastic lifter, because we know you all need a plastic lifter.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you for your realistic hobby wishes, and then also your idealistic, your fantastic hobby wishes, fantasies that if like you could make Games Workshop make a rocket ship that actually goes to the moon. I don't know if that's what you want, but just something wild, like something wild. Could be a cool idea, could be a doable idea, but just not likely to happen, not likely to be bought for you by your significant or made for you. We don't have to be all, you know, materialistic. We can also make stuff. So I asked the different hosts to prepare some thoughts on this. I'm asking everyone out in the chat to hit us up with, if you can, realistic colon, and then what your realistic hobby wish is, and then fantasy colon, what your ultimate all-time hobby fantasy would be, because I think that people have some good ideas out there, and I'm looking forward to reading them. So I'll start because I pulled up a picture and I want to use it to get out of here. Get it out of here. My hobby dream was inspired by Hydra. And it was inspired by Hydra because Hydra just had his 40th birthday. And for his 40th birthday, he got his family to go together on getting him a compressor or vacuum chamber. And I was like, oh man, that's a really smart idea. Man, I wish that my family would go together and get me something really cool that I can't afford or can't justify buying by myself. So people may have heard me talking about Monument Hobbies paints. I've fallen far into the Monument hole, and I've decided that I want this bag, this Monument Hobbies Go bag, which is like, it's got all the paints in it. It's got like a mat to work on. It's got a big pocket at the back. Anyway, I just think this would be so cool because I have my building hobby set up in such a way that I just have it in this pink box I can carry everywhere. So I want my painting stuff to be like that, because I'll like go inside and paint on the dining room table so I can chat with Nora versus like being out here in the studio where all my paints live. So I thought I could just like bring this thing in and set it up and paint.
Does it come with the lights?
No, everyone asked that question and I wish it did. They, in the Monument Hobbies like review of their own product, they tell you what the lights are that they used for it. They're just some lights that they bought off Amazon. But I want to find, actually, if anyone in the chat has a recommendation, hit me. Because I want to find hobby lights that are battery powered. I know that's going to be tough because you're not going to get a lot of power out of battery powered light, but that's what I really want. I really want like something that you can charge into a USB socket to charge, but otherwise you could also use it like battery powered. Because I got a couple from Amazon and they weren't amazing.
What about just getting like a Halo? Just plugging it into the Halo.
Halo?
Okay.
Yeah, like it's
Just
like a mobile battery that you can just plug like a normal like.
yeah, you want a work light, which you get from automotive section, where you can stand it up into your car motor area and stuff like that.
Oh, I know
like,
the ones you're talking about, but the thing is, like, would they be small enough to like fit in this bag?
yeah, they should
Yeah,
be. I
they're
mean,
tiny.
they're like 20 centimeters, 30 centimeters, something like that. They should be fitting in there.
But could they like stand over your workspace, or you? Because I've seen ones that are like squares or whatever, and they like could stand on a desk shining, but they wouldn't be like above you.
I
You know what I mean?
mean, there are work lights that can be hung. They have a hook at the end, so you can hang them up somewhere.
I'm
You
hoping for
have
something
to.
that's more like a traditional desk lamp, like gooseneck sort of thing. But I don't know that that's going to be in an
Yeah.
auto section.
But what I want to ask, because I ran into this issue just recently with my mother, who also was like, I want a lamp with a battery, and I got her something with a lithium thing which you can plug in, and she then lectured me about how she wanted to use batteries.
Oh, like
So,
actual batteries? She wanted to put AA batteries
yeah,
into it?
yeah.
Oh no.
So you don't talk about that.
Oh no. Environmental junk right there. Anyway,
Mr. Pink Guy, I'm
Yeah.
sending you a link. Like you can get like one of these things.
hold on,
You
I'll go
just
check it out.
charge this thing, and then it's like basically a portable battery, and it has like an AC adapter. You could just plug whatever, as if it were a wall plug.
Where did you
So
send it?
rather than charging the light, you would charge that.
Where did you send it?
I sent it to you on Discord.
Oh, directly. Okay, there's so many different places
Yeah.
that I could message you on Discord.
You can also use them to jumpstart your car.
Oh, Halo. This is what you were. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Jumpstart my car, eh? Canadian winter? I don't know.
Oh, they're pretty good.
Okay.
They work.
Yeah, you guys get winter too.
My car battery's been completely dead in the dead of winter, and
Wow.
I have one just that I just keep in my garage, always charging, and it'll jumpstart your car pretty consistently.
Sweet.
So, and they last a while too.
Like on a charge, you mean?
Yeah, they last pretty long
Oh, cool.
with
Okay,
stuff like
thanks.
plugged into them.
Anyway, yeah, I want this bag. That's my
It is a
dream.
cool
That's my
bag.
wish. My realistic wish. I actually did I think of a dream wish? Okay, let's go for realistic wishes first. Give me some time to think. So yeah. Who wants to go next?
So what did we learn? Mr. Pink really wants those lights.
It's not the lights. I want the box, but I want some kind of lights. Because, like, if you look at those lights are wired. So I definitely don't want those lights.
Yeah, I'll go next with my realistic wish. I would like to have some Pyro War kit. That would be nice.
Oh,
for
man.
Christmas.
That hurts. Yeah, you can't get it anywhere.
Sorry, what did you say, Kajan?
Pyrovore kit, right?
Pyro.
Oh, Pyrovore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would like for Christmas.
That
So
hurts.
that's my realistic wish.
I don't know. That might be a fantasy, Kajan. That cuts deep.
It's funny that kit's like sold out everywhere, and it's like my least favorite release for the Tyranids this year.
Oh, you said that's
I guess
your
it's
least
good
favorite?
for bits. It's my least favorite. Yeah.
I think the reason that it's sold out everywhere is that they may have been being slightly optimistic. They may have been like, yeah, we're redoing the kit. It's going to sell better than the old ones. But then I think they took like sell better than the old ones as like a percentage of the old ones. And I think that the Biovores and Pyovores had not sold a model in years. So
Yeah,
maybe that's why they
that's true.
underestimated it.
Are they really good in the game? Are they like really good?
I heard they're good.
Yeah.
Biovores, I don't know about Pyrovores.
I
That
think they're
could also
okay.
contribute.
I mean,
I don't
it's
think
a
they're
dual
supposed to
kit,
be like
so-
phenomenal.
They got great bits. I would like one or two just for the bits at least.
Heck yeah, dude.
I can already see using that cannon for my never-ending Hero Duel Dominatrix project.
Sorry, you never ending what?
The never-ending Hero Duel to a Dominatrix project.
Ah, the one you got finished. Yep.
Yep. One day.
Who was that? Did the Hive Tyrant with the with that cannon?
Oh, it was
I've
Flynn.
seen it on Instagram. I
Flynn
don't
made it into
remember
like
who it
a
was.
vacuum.
like a Ghostbusters vacuum.
Yeah.
Biomass Busters.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
many
it was
plans for the
good.
Pyrovore, but I haven't got there yet.
What about you, Will? you want?
Honestly, Kajan kind of took my answer because I also would like a Biovore, pretty much for the same
Oh, this is so
reason.
sad.
Well, I think the thing I am with Darth Bob though. Like it's the model as a whole. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but so
think
many
it.
couldn't.
Oh yeah, no, like the parts, like individual parts, is like that thing is a kit chain, like you know, gold mine as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned. But yeah, and especially since I got so delayed in getting my my Norn
Yeah.
emissary assimilator because I only got mine. I pre-ordered like that week of what, like that first week of September. I only finally got a Norn assimilator. What is it, like 2 weeks ago, and like
Oh
that's because I
no.
got the and that's because I got the holiday box, and I ended up talking to the owner of the local game shop, and he was just like, yeah, they're not sending that thing. Games Workshop apparently decided that they're like, we're only gonna send out like 70% of like what we can like total possible stuff. He's like, why? He's like, I don't know. So, I mean,
I don't know.
that like 2 week span where the Biovore was randomly available online, I managed to snag one and
Yeah.
only one. I guess I should have bought some more. So that's pretty much the thing that like I semi-realistically want.
I so I recently did an exchange with Deshande on the old Discord Rooney. Also prolific Tyranid artist. Where he had some they're right here. Some old bits from the Forge World Stonecrusher Artifacts. And he traded me those for a Neurolictor. Because it was hard to
nice.
find Neurolictors. And I found a website that had Neurolictors in stock. And they also had Biovores in stock. And I was like, oh, I'm buying a Neurolictor for Dwarfenage. Sorry, for Deshande. But I'm definitely buying a Biovore for myself. And I should have known. As soon as I saw Biovores in stock, I should have known something was fishy. They weren't keeping their inventory accurate online. So I placed the order. I waited literally a month. And I messaged them. I'm like, guys, what's up with this order? They're like, oh yeah, we don't actually have those in stock, but we figured we'd get them in stock soon. So we're just going to send them out to you when they get in. I'm like, no, man. So I canceled that order and I didn't get my Biovore.
Sad.
But no, it's not sad. Listen, I have two. When they came out, I bought two. Like I pre-ordered them. I wish I had pre-ordered more. I tried to get a third. Didn't work out. And I've only cracked open one to make this guy.
Who would have thought that in 2024, one of the more highly sought after models would be a Pyrovore?
No way.
Yep. You could have I never would have guessed that. You could have told me that, I would have called you crazy.
Agreed.
Robinage is all surprised that he's getting a neurolector.
Yeah. Sean Day. Okay, who's next? Jane?
I think
I mean,
it's Bob.
Me. You know, I have not got any of the new Tyranids.
Any?
Except for the Leviathan box.
Okay, that's just like okay.
Yeah, I got the Leviathan box.
It's tough
but
to
I have
say
not
I
gotten
didn't get
the
any of the new
subsequent-
Tyranids except the Leviathan box. Like that's more of a sentence like I didn't get any of the new Tyranids except for the Lictor. You got half of the new Tyranids and then didn't buy the other half.
Well, yeah, I haven't gotten any of like the release since Leviathan.
Right. Okay.
Like any of the new stuff since Leviathan was released. So honestly, I'd just be happy with anything. Highlights, I would obviously like a Lictor.
Yep.
And I'd also really like some of the new Homergons.
Oh,
But I'm also kind of on a Ink 28 mini binge. I've been kind of like gathering up like random models. I've actually been getting a lot of like confrontation models together to like kind of try and convert into like little Ink 28 characters. So there's a handful of like some Necromunda guys I'd kind of like for converting.
In case I haven't already told you 18 times, I love Confrontation.
Oh, Confrontation.
That sounds bad. I love the French war game Confrontation.
Yes. Raccoon Confrontation was like I think one of the best miniature lines of all time, and it's absolutely tragic what happened to that company.
Yeah.
I think if things there's a universe somewhere where like we live in a world where Games Workshop went out of business and Confrontation was I think.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Pink, one of the local gamer guys in the DC area is actually like the dude that keeps doing the confrontation in like international invitationals.
Oh.
And like he's like the dude that's trying to keep confrontation alive. I can like try to like get you his contact info.
Yeah.
I think
well, not gonna lie.
Tries to, like,
I'm most interested in the miniatures, and they're not making the miniatures anymore. So like,
well,
so
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I think he has like a huge stash of like stuff.
That's cool.
That he like perpetually keeps like picking up wherever he can. But
that's amazing.
So for those of us who don't know what happened to that company?
I don't know. I just know they went out of business. I don't know if Darth Bob had more to that story. He had to go, so maybe he can tell us when he comes back.
My vague understanding is that the company was like they might have sold or whatever the thing, like the IP to somebody else, and I think they did like a Kickstarter or whatever, but
Never went anywhere.
Like that project just like I think went into like complete chaos and limbo and nothing happened, and I think the changes they're trying to make like nobody liked, and then like but they had like I think the they had all of the old molds and stuff, and just chaos and just mismanagement I think were the main answers. Much to I think the consternation of a lot of the fan base. I can get the information. I've heard this so many times because I keep making fun of them for trying to keep a dead game going. But I can get the like probably more accurate rundown.
Oh yeah, your buddy probably knows it all.
Yeah, so like
he's your buddy, right?
I'll ping my friends to see if they can give me like the proper rundown again.
Hey, listen, if your friend wants to, I'm happy to invite them on the stream to talk about Confrontation. That'd be friggin' awesome.
Oh, he'd probably love talking about Confrontation.
Oh, damn, and you know what? I might be able to get a sculptor from Confrontation too, who I talked to on the internet.
I sorry, I had to go for a second. We're still talking about Confrontation. I love Confrontation.
Heck yeah.
Confrontation's great.
We're gonna do a stream on it. We got a guy who's saving the game. He's gonna come talk to us. Will already said.
Hell yeah.
We got another guy who used to be one of the sculptors. He definitely told me.
Models too?
What?
Did I hear he has a big backstock of Confrontation models too?
I don't know how big of a backstock, but I know that like for the yearly invitationals that he keeps doing, he has a lot of old like original models that like he's managed to like snag from wherever, like as prize support. So like,
Listen, we're gonna do this.
That's cool.
I'm gonna hire the sculptor I know to sculpt a new confrontation model. We're gonna send it to the Wire brothers in the States to cast in Maryland. And then they're gonna send it over to this guy in DC, and he's gonna pump those suckers out.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, one thing I wanted to get to. Since he never watches this stream and no one's ever gonna tell him, don't you ever tell him? I got Hydra Lictor for Christmas.
aw,
Excellent.
Yeah, like I was literally, if I have 2 Biovores, I think I bought 3 Lictors. I bought 2 Lictors, but then did I buy 3 Lictors? I don't know. I bought 2 to 3 Lictors, and then
Never enough lictors.
Oh shit, that was amazing. Did I mention that I may have had some Canadian cigarettes that I bought from my friend Jean-Jacques Francois Jean-Jacques? He sold them to me
No.
for 10 pièces.
Oh god.
And anyway, yeah, so I just literally had a lictor here. And I was putting together a thing for Hydra because his birthday's at the end of November. And I put like a Christmas thing in there too. And then I was like, you know what? This guy needs a fucking lictor. So I slapped the lictor in there. And then like separately, his brothers were asking me for advice for his birthday. And I knew Hydra wanted a lictor, but I didn't want his brothers to buy him a lictor, so I didn't tell them.
he really wants this thing called a Biovore.
I'm not giving him my Biovore. You can go to hell.
Mm.
All right. So, has everyone done their realistic wishes? Kajan, did you do
I
yours?
believe so.
Yes, I did mine. I started with the Biowar.
Biovore, okay. All right, because everyone said Biovore. And Darth Bob said, any Tyranids at all, because I don't have a single one.
No.
Just
my thousands of dollars of unassembled new in-box old Tyranids.
Yeah, me too. So what do you think we should do? Should we go through the chat, or should we now do our fantastical ones, then go through the chat? What do you think?
Let's see if there's any answers in the chat.
I mean, there are answers
There's a couple.
in the chat.
Let's go through the chat first. Who wants to go?
Are you
Who wants to go?
volunteering?
Oh,
Huh?
it doesn't make a difference to me.
Who wants to do the chat?
I'll read.
Good man,
Tom
do
Wilson
it.
Yeah,
says,
well, you never do it. You do it.
And thorough, sure he does.
Tom Wilson says, honestly, I just want the Christmas models this year, which
Oh,
is
The Christmas
again-
models are cool this year.
The goblin ones?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought he meant like the like holiday.
Oh, the Tyranid box? I don't know. Let us know,
The
Tom.
red
I mean, that's
gobbo,
not-
and then they also did like a new one this year. They did like it's like
Black
supposed
gobbo.
to be like a Krampus version or something.
Oh, no, it's a black gobbo. There's the black gobbo
Oh,
and
the
the
black
red gobbo.
gobbo. That's right.
Okay. Hooch says he realistically wants new Ravener sculpts and fantastic.
Oh, that's amazing.
I would also like new Ravener sculpts, although that gets weirdly good for bids.
Yeah,
And
but it's not a
I've
good
apparently I've misplaced my bits of Raveners like a couple of weeks ago, and it's killing me that I can't find it, and I
Uh-oh.
know I'm gonna break down. I'm probably gonna just buy a new box of Raveners or bits, and I know that like 5 minutes after I receive it and like open up my new box of
Yep.
Raveners like a small child, I'm gonna find that bag and it's like, damn it, now I have 20 of these stupid Ravener torsos that I'm not gonna be able to use. Like,
Well, of course. I mean, that's how the bits pocket dimension works.
yeah,
The pocket
I
dimension
I
only
love it.
releases the bits after
love
you've
it.
bought the kit again.
It's because
so
you
I
yourself
see
induce
Ravener.
the instability in the bits dimension by moving the kit bits from the store towards yourself. I don't know what the hell I'm saying.
Yeah, it's the law of equivalent exchange.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely
well,
that.
Man, I'm seeing this pic of the Neurolector that Deshande got, and I keep thinking how sweet that would combo to like that's the Ravner model that I wish we had got.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, that is like I stole the legs off my Neurolictor, and I'm gonna slap him on a Hive Tyrant. More on that later. I'm gonna use the rest of that body to make a Ravener or a Red Terror or something.
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
the idea.
like I mean that's an expensive ass way of making a Ravner.
Yeah, right.
Force, but like it's gonna look good.
Hashtag worth it.
Let's see. Who
what
just
else is going on
says
in the chat?
Tyler Blevin says he wants some organization and storage options for all of his hobby stuff. Would be his practical want, which is reasonable. I actually also need some new storage. I guess I'll circle back for the fantasy wants, but orphanages again. Excited and aghast that you're sending him a Neurolictor and not Deshande. Tom Wilson commented on the confrontation stuff. He mentioned that they started selling pre-painted minis and went bust, which is something I vaguely also remember.
Oh, I'd heard something
that's
about
why
that.
I said it's an absolute tragedy of poor business decisions.
Yeah, and then you walked away. You're like, that is an absolute tragedy. I'll be right back. And we're like, no, but wait, oh.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, and I wanted to know what
I had
what
to
the
use the
tragedy was.
bathroom urgently.
To throw
He's a
up when you think about their business decisions?
Oh yeah, I guess so.
It's literally making
Makes
me
me sick.
urinate with rage.
Yes. This is how I feel about your pre-painted models. It sucks because AT-43 would have been so cool as like non-pre-painted models.
Oh yeah,
They were
like,
still
they had
pretty
some,
cool
like,
pre-painted
really
even.
sweet items.
They were so good.
They were cool pre-painted, but they just like once you got the sculpts up close, it was like, ugh. I wish you were not pre-painted. And then of course, Cool Mini or not, like it's like sorry to get on this again, but like the confrontation story just really pisses me off because it's like they went pre-painted and then they went out of business because I don't know why the fuck they thought that was a good idea. And then Cool Mini or not bought the rights to Confrontation, and then they like produced like 4 or 5 stupidly expensive premium models, didn't do any game support, and then they've just been sitting on the IP for like 20 years.
And there's our answer.
Yep.
Jesus.
It's tragic.
That sucks.
It does. It really sucks. They did the same thing with Dark Age. Dark Age was also a fantastic like skirmish gothic sci-fi miniature game that Cool Mini or not also did like nothing to support and then just let it die.
So I guess the answer is or not. See what I did there?
Yeah.
You see what I did there?
Yep.
Did you get the joke?
Oh no,
Fair.
Cool Mini or not is the EA of miniature companies.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
They buy up other properties and then let the properties die.
That's
Were they
shitty.
the ones that had Wrath of Kings?
Yes. Yeah, Wrath of Kings is another one they did it too. Because
That
Wrath of Kings
game
was owned by the
actually
same.
fun.
Yeah, Wrath of Kings was owned by the same company that did Dark Age.
Ah. Oh, well,
So when they
shame.
got Dark Age, they also got Wrath of Kings.
So infuriating too, because they actually had some like really dope models too.
Oh
Like,
yeah, they had some
I
really
honestly
really
wanted to,
cool
like,
I
models.
think I
into
own
it.
some Dark Age model that I wanted to make into a Talos.
Yeah, Dark Age
Yeah.
models were great for like converting into 40K stuff.
Alas.
But the game itself was also really cool. It was a fun game.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's good. This is the context we were looking for a second ago.
My bad.
You're good for coming in and give us the context. Thank you. Yeah, so we're gonna have a confrontation stream apparently with Will's friend. The dude I know
Heck
who's one of their
yes.
sculptors.
Oh,
Who's also an amazing Tyranid
the
sculptor.
person that I know.
He's the man. He's the confrontation man. He doesn't work for Cool Mini or not, does he? Because there might be blows. It might come to blows with Darth Bob and him on this thing.
Is that the guy? Is that the guy that did the Talent Horror?
Oh, wait. That's the sculptor. Yeah.
Yeah. He is a really talented sculptor. I like his
I
stuff.
can never remember his name. It's scary. Sometimes I can't find him on Instagram because I forget how to, like, what his handle is.
That happens to me all the time.
It's good, though. Then I went to Warp Shadow, and I remembered we posted his Zoanthrope on Warp Shadow. I'm like, aha! Here's his account. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm always trying to figure out that dude that just posts everything in pink backgrounds.
Hey, who the hell's that jagoff? Look him up. Pink's not coming up. God, there's probably people out there doing that. What's his
the
name?
Storyboard
Modern
guy wants
Modicum.
Maliceptors.
I don't know. It sounds like some kind of DJ name. That's all I remember. Mod
MC
synthesizer.
Synth. Yeah, that's it.
There we go. Word. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Okay. So those are our joke ones. Sorry, did someone say that what they want is confrontation back? That's their dream wish?
No, we Tom Wilson commented on the confrontation drama. Although we have a couple of more realistic stuff. The storyboard guy wants the Maliceptors, which is fair. That is yet another one of the Tyranid range.
Dude, if I had any, I'd give them to you. I'm not a huge fan, but I don't have any.
I love him for the bits.
Yeah, the bits are great.
The model itself sucks, in my opinion.
Oh, wait a second. You said Maliceptor. I heard Malanthrope. Because I'm a weirdo.
Oh, no. No, I confuse those two, like, all the time. Like,
that's another one that I found going through my stuff that I had no idea that I had. I have two, like, new in the original Forge World bag Malanthropes.
Oh.
That I totally didn't remember that I had.
You're not planning on sending one to me because it's actually a recast and you hate recasts?
No, they aren't recast. Because I was actually curious and I went digging through like my emails to see if I had like a Forge World order confirmation. It looks like I panic bought a bunch of Forge World Tyranid stuff a while back.
Oh wow!
Because I was worried they were going to go out of production, and I guess my fears were justified because it looks like a couple months later they did stop selling them. So.
I love the idea that like somebody from Forge World's like, are you sure? Because like you've already bought like 5 of these. Like, do you really need 2 more?
Yes, yes, I'm sure.
I do, Kenneth.
Don't
put them in the mail. Damn it.
Okay, I'm gonna expose myself here. I'm gonna
don't expose yourself.
Here.
I don't want to get the channel demonetized.
All right. So, you guys remember when they announced they were redoing the formula of the Games Workshop washes?
Yeah.
Like the most recent redux of the washes. So, the Tyranid scheme I was working on requires significant use of Karaberg Crimson. And the way they described the changes to the wash formula, I was like, the way they're changing it makes it sound like it's not going to work for the purposes I have in mind. So, me being the absolute psychopath that I am, decided I was going to panic buy the old washes before they went out of production.
Oh, I would do that.
And switch to the new formula. And I now have a backlog of 40 pots of the old formula of Karaberg Crimson sitting in my closet.
You know how much secret weapon baby poop I would have in my cupboard right now if I wasn't, disorganized and forgot to panic buy it when it was going out of stock? Because that's the one that I would worry about losing.
Yeah, secret weapon is definitely one I would have panic bought a lot of their stuff, because actually a lot of my models use their stuff.
But
like their ruined columns, the bricks that the little Juwila bricks that they have, which I think you can still get from Juwila, because I think they just like repackaged the Juwila bricks. But I love their bricks, but their paints too are fantastic. And yeah, luckily I have a full set of the washes, but I wish I had more.
Someone posted a thing on the Discord saying that you can just recreate their washes with FW inks.
Yes, because the washes are based on Les Bursley's recipes. Although since Les Bursley did his tutorial for how to do that. Secret Weapon did develop some of their own colors that weren't covered by
Oh,
Les
okay.
Bursley's tutorials, but like the classic ones like Baby Poop, Sewer Water, Soft
The
Body
important
Black, all
ones, the ones
them.
we need.
Yeah,
Soft
those
Body
are
Black
all.
is one of them? Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I gotta go look those up because I've now invested in a lot of FW.
Oh, sorry, I keep getting us on tangents. My bad. Did anybody
Dwarfenage
else have like?
responded. He realistically wants maybe some new epoxy sculpt or some new painting handles.
Painting
very
handles.
wholesome-
That
That's
should
a
be my
very wholesome
dream.
request. I just want some more sculpting putty and maybe a painting handle.
Just want to make some art, governor.
Like we're all like, oh yeah, I want these $50, $60 models.
Yo,
and
listen.
He's just like, some new epoxy sculpt and a painting handle.
You want to buy Games Workshop painting handles, the old ones. They might be expensive on eBay now.
Philip Thompson joined in. He's a name.
Hey, hello.
Familiar with? He says, yes, new Raveners. They're always out of stock at his local hobby store. Which I think they might have gone online only, which might explain why
Okay.
they're not. You know what? Let me.
Strikes me as something Games Workshop
check.
would do.
I still hate their new website.
I hated their old website too.
Yeah, their old website was not like to be lauded. Yes, the Ravener Brood is in fact online only. So do not expect to see them in your local
You're just
store.
gonna keep waiting for something that's never
It's
gonna
like, this
come.
might happen. Apparently, so gargoyles are also now online only. That's interesting. Huh. Well, not that.
All right, do we want to do the crazy unrealistic
Yeah. Wait,
dreams now?
first I wanted to nod to Lonely Sandbar. But Lonely Sandbar just said their sound's not working, so I don't know. I'm on a quest.
Maybe they heard our free Slaneshi content and like demonetize us.
I am on a quest to find the pinkest pink that ever did pink. I
can help
stumbled
you
onto
out with that.
this quest. Oh, not fucking what's his face. I'll get his too. Stuart Semple. Okay, sure.
Yeah, I was about to say Stuart Semple's.
But yeah, while I was on this quest, we're talking about how I wanted like more saturated miniature paints, especially ones that came in containers like this, because I really love Monument Hobbies, but their stuff isn't super saturated. Of course, right after I said this, they friggin' announced, they previewed their fluorescent line. So maybe my prayers have been answered. But Lonely Sandbar suggested that I get golden high flow acrylics. Well, actually, Lonely Sandbar had suggested specifically the So Matte. Are they called So Matte? I don't know. Very matte stuff, like matte versus gloss. But I wound up stumbling onto their high flow acrylics, which are kind of like the same consistency as miniature paint, and I think they're meant to be to like refill these kind of like paint markers and stuff like that. But yeah, they're pretty cool. And I got teal because I love teal and everything, and fluorescent pink. I think one day I'm gonna try and do a video where I compare a bunch of pinks because I'm supposed to be Mr. Pink. I don't actually use pink that much, like a little bit in my Tyranids, but not a ton. But I think I got to do it. So I've started accumulating these. Oh, and if someone in the United States wants to help me get a hold of, what are they? Huge Hobbies or Huge Miniatures or something? There's like a very small miniature company called like something Huge Miniatures.
That's ironic.
Yeah, I think that's the joke. They have like a super duper pink paint, but they won't send it to me in Canada. And the one place that stocks it in Canada is out of stock of that pink paint. So I might need an American to help me with it.
I just sent you a picture. My brother used the Stuart Semple Pink is Pink on a like crazy centaur night, and it's pretty pink.
Okay. I mean, I know that I'll have to get that and like try it out as well. God, that eye on the shield is amazing. Your brother's a bomb, man.
Yeah,
good
I
painter.
am envious of the progression of his painting style.
Well, could it be because he actually
Wait,
paints things, not waste all his time converting them like we do?
That's accurate.
Is that the brother that started painting this year?
I was like, I think he's been in the hobby for like 2 years, but like way better painter than I am, having done this hobby for over 15 years.
I
wow.
seem to remember you mentioned him starting recently, something like that.
Yeah, it's been in like I don't remember. It was probably like 2 or 3 years ago. He like really got into it. He started with Necrons, and then he's gone like whole hog into Slanesh now.
Oh, look at me. I'm just going to do freehand paint jobs.
Yeah,
No big deal.
Whatever.
Yeah, we should get into the fantastic
Fantasy
wish
stuff.
listing because we're getting late on time.
People are the worst.
However, I want to point out that Dwarfinage said that he actually likes the new painting handles. Dwarfinage, if you have an old painting handle, I have a new one that I'll give you. We can trade if you're down. It's a little bit painted, but
used painting handle.
Slightly used butt plug. I mean, painting.
Lightly used rubber fist.
Oh man! Oh my god! My phone just told me that Modern Synthesis is live, and it put that god awful Mariah Carey thing up again.
Okay, unrealistic dreams.
Sorry, unrealistic. Someone else start because you probably have a better idea than me. Who's got a strong one?
Well, I would like to have a Theocast machine.
What's that?
Ooh.
It's that new 3D printing stuff that Hyrule was talking about.
Is it the like really flexible one?
In Essen. Yeah, the one that's like 3D. You put in models and it creates its own mold, so you can press mold it with plastic. Yeah,
I didn't know this.
It's cool stuff. And they have proprietary plastic that are really flexible, so nothing breaks and stuff like that, and self-writes itself, and so it looks really cool. They've been on a couple of trade shows showing off their skills, but it's hella expensive. So yeah, I mean, I would like to get my hands on it, but unless I'm hitting the lottery or
you'd also like to be able to afford food and lodging.
Yeah, basically non-existent print lines too. It's really incredible quality printing.
Whoa.
Actually, the company, what is it, Zealot Miniatures? They use Cyocast for a lot of their miniatures, and the print quality is incredible. It looks like they were hand cast miniatures.
Yeah, I've put the link to their.
And you know who's good friends with Zealot? I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. Good friend of Zealot Miniatures is. I'm pointing to my ear right now. I don't know if that'll ever. You'll catch it. It'll come up on the stream.
Okay.
I don't know if that'll ever benefit us.
One day.
Try to put one of his stickers onto my lamp.
That's a good wish. I like that wish.
Yeah, I like that. Good one, Kajan.
Thank you.
Okay, folks in the chat, please contribute your unrealistic wishes as well. They can be more highfalutin than Kajan's. The examples I gave were definitely more highfalutin. His seems like somewhat achievable, if expensive.
I have one.
Go!
All I want
for
Christmas is to get a letter from some obscure lawyer in the mail saying that, oh, what's his face that lives in New York City, who's the only known owner of the Armorcast or Epicast Trigon, left me the Epicast Trigon in his will.
Oh, I love it!
And it's going to be delivered to me by Christmas Day. That's my unrealistic dream.
I love it.
Because that's like the one piece of like unreleased curated content that just seems completely out of reach, unfortunately.
You know, you're gonna have a knife fight with with Flinthammer on your front steps, right?
Oh yeah, I will.
Yo,
And
we'll
in the-
stream that.
We'll stream it. It'll be episode 200 of the Creature Conference.
Fight
It'll
for
be
the Trigon.
pay-per-view. We
in
got
the letter of
monetized.
in the letter of the attorney, it says that he was an avid fan of the Creature Conference and work in
Yeah.
progress too. And he knew you would take good care of it.
Yes.
However, Darth Bob, you missed the PS of the letter, which says, in order to receive your inheritance, you must spend a weekend in Rick Priestley's haunted cottage. Woo!
I would. For that model, I would do it.
Where did you think he got the idea for the Tyranid Sphincter in Advanced Space Crusade?
Oh,
At his
no.
creepy cottage. Woo!
How much are those like going for on eBay?
Creepy
They
cottages?
don't exist.
Oh, they
The
don't.
Trigon? They don't exist.
Did that never get
There
like,
was like, to the knowledge of the guy, because I spoke to the guy who like was the original owner of Epicast. To his knowledge, there were only 2 ever made.
Oh shit.
If you see one on eBay, he said it's almost guaranteed to be a recast. Because the only one that he knows that's outside of his collection went to a collector in New York who has since passed away, and he doesn't know what happened to his collection.
Yeah, we got thrown out.
Yeah. So
Check Facebook groups for, hey, can you help me identify these weird Warhammer miniatures my grandfather had?
yeah. Check obituaries.
Yo, man, I don't think you
I
want.
picked-
Okay, I'm
I
gonna go
picked
dark.
up this box of Tyranids from Craigslist.
I'm gonna go dark for a
Yeah.
second, but I don't think you want that Trigon, man. Because
Yeah,
our
it
good
could
friend
be cursed.
Accommodator, who got the only Imperator that Armorcast ever made, you died, like young. Not of
Yeah,
Armorcast,
maybe they're cursed.
but
Maybe
now
the
I'm thinking
like.
there might be a curse.
Yeah, he's calling me. Sorry, one sec.
Oh. All right. Who's got yo, Will, you got anything?
Best I've got is a Zote army, and that's gonna be a perpetual like one.
I like it. And I feel like, didn't Games Workshop make a joke about a Zote Codex sometime recently?
I mean, I feel like especially with all these like weird models that they've been like throwing in for Blackstone Fortress and like some of the other kind of one-off stuff that like
Yeah.
are just throwback models.
Yeah, you're right.
Like
I
I
feel
mean,
you.
hell, they brought back Squat, so
Hell
like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Preach.
Like I could see them just like trolling, just like, oh, but what about the Amble, a full Amble army? It's like that's
Give it
not
to
gonna
me.
happen.
Give it to me. I love it.
The more Xenos, the better.
Yes. But yeah, I think Punk and Squib, who are those people on the internet? Punk and Wagnalls of 40K. Squig, and it's a British thing. Flynn would know. Why aren't you guys more British? Damn it. Squib and Squib. There's like these 2 people who are on Warhammer Twitter, and they were saying that apparently they came up with the joke, James Workshop, and then Games Workshop, I don't know, this is what they were saying. And apparently they were also joking about a Zote Codex, and they made it sound like Games Workshop was now joking about a Zote Codex. So it's got a miniature. We live in a world where squats exist. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
No, we live in a world where the Screamer Killer came back. The model. We live in a world where the Von Rhines Leaper got a model. Anything can happen.
Wait. What do you mean it came back? I mean, it always existed. The
Okay,
Carnifex
I said it
kit
got a
has
model.
Screamer Killer bits.
I said it got a model.
Yeah, the Carnifex kit had a
No,
Screamer
a
Killer.
real one. A real dedicated one with a bald head.
Okay.
Like,
Tom Wilson did say that it was mentioned in James Workshop vid.
There you go.
And both he and the storyboard guy mentioned that it was the Snipe and Squib.
there we go.
Yes.
Yeah, so could be, man. Could be. You could get your Zote Codex. I
I
want to see
could.
more dreams in the chat, people. Look me up your dreams.
I mean, if you're going to dream, I would be dreaming that Games Workshop finally realizes that maybe they should produce something else than Space Marines, and people might actually start to like other stuff.
Oh,
We'll see.
wait. Can I change my answer to
Absolutely. Go for it.
base Tyranid equivalent of Space Marine lieutenants?
They just keep releasing limited edition lictors.
Yeah, whatever. Just like lictors.
Oh, you know
Tyranid
what?
warriors, you know.
Genestealer cultists. Different
Ooh,
maguses.
Yeah. I want to see a Gene Stealer Magus with like a big ass afro.
Nice.
That'd be pretty
I
dope.
feel like I was gonna go more wild with mine, and I was trying to think of something really cuckoo bananas. But after listening to your guys' ones, I feel like I should go safe, but out there, and go with proper plastic Tyranid kaiju. Hopefully, one build of it being a dominatrix, but of course they have to rename it something else because that's too sexy. Yeah, some kind of that. You know what I want? I want that crazy rumor that started that some dude was on a plane sitting beside a designer from Games Workshop, and they told them that there's a multi-year plan for Tyranids, and that they were going to do, and I quote, Tyranid Codex Knights, like the Imperial Knight houses and all that. The rumor was that there was plans to do something similar for Tyranids, where you basically had a codex or like a kit or two kits that were multi-build to build all these giant monstrosities. I just hope that is still out there and that they didn't mean like Malceptors and Toxicreans as the giant monstrosities, because they're not nearly giant enough.
Didn't they just bring back the Epic 40k line?
How does that help?
I mean, those would be probably including models like that, like knight-sized and warlord-sized Tyranids again.
Okay, but problem with that is that it's stupid, like all the other stupid stuff, like the other thing they did before with the Knights, with the Titans. It's set in Horus Heresy, and in Horus Heresy, famously, Xenos doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of shitty. What time is it?
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
Okay, I gotta get going soon.
9:40.
All right, I'm gonna do a dream thing.
Okay.
Oh, I did my dream thing. Yeah, so I want my dream thing is Codex Tyranid Knights with proper kaiju, with a big multi-build kit that you can build all these different big Tyranid monsters that start at the top of the Norn Emissary's back chimneys and go higher.
Yeah, some Biotitans that aren't big and spindly would be nice. Something more like chunky.
Speaking of which, I guess I did this in the last 2 weeks. The Norn Emissary.
The Norn Queen.
I progressed with my Norn conversion that I had started on a stream a long time ago. I think when the Norn first released. Yeah, I just got mad because people were saying that the Norn Emissary was the best Tyranid kit of 2023, and I'm like, no, it's not that good. You have to like totally convert it, but then it could be. Anyway,
it is pretty cool. I do like the eyeless look.
Thanks. What was that?
Of a pain in the ass with cutting those vents, because I also
Easy.
was going to. Really? Oh, that's
easy.
good.
You just need it because like this part is separate and the vents like stick out from it, so there's nothing in behind it. You just need one of those jeweler saws, like the wiggly blade that's like thin.
Oh yeah.
You get it in there.
Is that a Tyranifex draw?
Yeah, you know it.
Nice.
This is like 80%. I've been describing it 80% Norn Emissary, 20% Tyranifex, and the only Tyranifex bits are these parts of the legs, like the upper two parts. This is a Norn Emissary foot, and then same thing over here. Tyranifex, and then the mouth. Tyranifex. But you can also use a Harpy or a Hivecrone mouth for this. That's it. You're done.
Cool.
Everything else is from the assimilator kit. Chopped up, moved around.
Nice. Premium nice.
Yeah, so it's really easy to cut
Nice.
these. You just need like a thin wiggly blade so that you can follow the curve. I did one of them better than the other one. But whatever. Any more from the chat? Kajan, can you take a spin through the chat? Oh wait, no, Kajan's working. Someone else?
Sure. Let's see. Pooge earlier said that his fantasy desire was a large-scale McFarlane tyrant.
That's cute. I like that.
It certainly would be less work than Deshande put in his
Oh heck yeah.
fantastic McFarlane tyrant.
Some Joy Toy Tyranids would be nice.
Joy Toys are not great. I handled the first one. I don't know if it's just like Deshande sent me a Chaos Terminator, and maybe he had played with it a lot, but it was really loose. Like the joints were very loose. I was kind of disappointed. Maybe not all, but that was my experience.
Tyler Blevins also commented that his fantasy pick would be a plastic Nid Lord of War, which would be great.
Yes, Norn Emissary doesn't count.
Proper. No, it definitely does not. If it's not as big or bigger than a knight, then it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Are there any unaccounted for like rumor mill Tyranids?
I think a lot of
that
them
like were part of like rumors that like were mostly confirmed but just haven't showed up yet.
I feel like we should go over those officially. I thought about next week I want to do Xenos year in review. And I thought we could, like, anyone who's available could come for it, but yeah, I wanted to go over the rumors that we had for Tyranids that didn't get realized in that, but I'm not sure if we will. One thing that pops out immediately was the weird rumor that they were doing some kind of weird tripod Tyranid that was like taller than a monolith.
Yeah, that seems like really
like
out of left field for it to just not happen at all.
Well, it sounds like a description of like that Necron tripod thing.
Yeah, just wanted to say, didn't we get a Necron that looked like that?
Exactly. Well, I don't know.
Maybe. I'm hoping the Tyranids end up being like the Necrons, where like after the Necrons got their massive re-release in 9th, they kind of still trickled in little releases throughout, over the years, like a character model here, or a little unit there.
But I don't think there were that many subsequent releases. I think it was only that the Destroyer. Was there anything else? The Hexmark. I don't know. No, I think that
they got a lot of characters, like little character models.
Oh, true. Right.
Tyranid lieutenants.
So the Tyranid lieutenants will be like Red Terror or something. Other weird named.
I mean, I'll take it.
I'll take it. Yeah,
that sounds dope.
I'll take any new release Tyranids. I don't care what it is.
Good point.
Just give me. Like, I don't care if I don't like the model overall. I'm sure there'll be something about it I could use for bets.
Oh, one thing I wanted to note, just because I didn't note it earlier when I was playing with it. I have in my hands a Thrifty Squirrel original.
Ooh.
In the spirit, I know Darth Bob lives in the spirit of supporting the artists that you admire. I've been thinking lately about getting like miniatures from hobbyists who I admire. And Thrifty Squirrel does some amazing work. This is one of his Tyrannistodes or whatever. Tyrannistodes.
Oh, yeah.
Tyrannistodes. Custodes made from Tyranids. I think they're amazing.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I asked him if I could commission one, and he's like, why don't you just pay me for one that I have, and I'll make another one. I'm like, oh my god, you're the best. So yeah, that's this guy. He's pretty cool.
That is like what a Tyranid, like a Tyrant Guard should be, basically.
Exactly. Can't wait to paint him up.
Lonely Sandbar commented that all they wanted was a Maleceptor, but sees it as unrealistic because it isn't going to be in stock, which is probably accurate. Yes.
Right.
Also, I think in our brief discussion about Gene Stealer cults and Gene Stealer lieutenants, Hooge mentioned a Gene Stealer limousine.
Yes.
Oh yes.
I'm very fond of.
That is a good
I love
dream.
it. Someday I will build one. But that day is not anytime soon. And Electro Dust Bunny just joined in and said hello in Tyranids.
Hello, Electro Dust Bunny. Electro Dust Bunny was actually at the premiere of the video that came out yesterday. So thanks for joining the premiere while the rest of these yucks were off working or something. Jeez, are you guys even our friends?
Oh, I guess this is a really good time for me to remember to remind everybody, if you enjoyed this video, to like and subscribe and
Thank
comment.
you. I forgot. Yes, please. If you're commenting, we know you already subscribed, so thank you. But yeah, if you enjoy this video, this is random ramble. We do streams every Wednesday and Friday. Most Wednesdays and Fridays, if there's not weird family stuff going on. So we'll be coming to you live again on Friday, December 22nd. We're going to do the Xenos year in review. We're going to review the Xenos releases from the year 2023. Tyranid stuff that we've already talked to death about, so we're going to see about some other stuff that we can do to highlight them. But that's the plan. So yeah, please like and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, there's links below to my Patreon. There's also a link to Fenris Workshop if you live in North America. You can buy stuff from them. And I have an affiliate link, so a little bit of every sale comes back to support the channel. And that's been really useful, because I am working on a new shirt design, a Warp Shadow shirt, that I want to make available to folks. And getting that stuff spun up is not cheap. So that's what the Patreon has been helping to pay for, and the affiliate stuff. So yeah, think about supporting the channel. Oh, War Pigment is here right at the end.
You know what? I
mentions-
just figured out the joke of that name.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Or Pigment.
Yeah, Dwarfinish just mentioned, we also have our good friend Hydra, who's on the other stream, is doing a special event called Solstice 28. How come your link didn't work, Dwarfinish? I want to try again and make it a link. Head over to Hydra's profile. His name is number 4YDRA over on Instagram, and he has more information about Solstice 28, which is he creates these idols. He sends them to you just for the cost of shipping, as long as you make a donation to a charity and send him a copy of the receipt. And it's a pretty good deal, because you get some cool little idols that he sculpted, and you do a good thing by donating to charity.
Yes.
Yeah, that's only until the end of December, so make sure to check that out. And Dwarfenage, oh, Kajan just put the link in the chat. Thank you. Oh, sorry, Dwarfenage is sculpting. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to call it there, because the battery on my camera is about to die, and it's late, and I got to go to bed. But thank you all for joining us out there in Chatland. Thank you, my lovely co-hosts, Will K, Tactical D-Bag, Darth Bob, and Kajan. Thank you all.
Yes.
Always a
Thank
pleasure.
you for having us.
And sorry it took so long to get to the wish list, but we got to it in the end. Thanks, Will.
Yes.
That's cute. And we will see you all again on Friday for the Creature Conference. I don't know if we're going to be doing another Work in Progress Wednesday on the Wednesday after Christmas. We'll see how people are feeling. Maybe like the Thursday, we might just chill on a stream and see what happens. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I always try to schedule the streams in advance. And if I don't schedule them in advance and you're subscribed, you'll at least get a notification when I start one.
Yes. Oh, and a completely random off-topic note, just to finish off the stream. If you have not seen Godzilla -1,
oh,
go
damn
see it.
it!
Go see it.
This
It
damn
is
movie.
brilliant.
Oh my god! Okay,
brilliant.
fine. I'll see the damn movie. Jeez, man, shove it in
I've
my ear. Why
heard
don't
nothing. I have heard nothing but fantastic things from like.
I've seen it
everybody.
twice.
Whoa!
I want to see it a third time.
Whoa!
It is so good.
Okay.
It is so good.
Oh, and not nearly as cool as Godzilla -1. But if you have not seen Reservation Dogs, get thee to Disney Plus. That's where it is in Canada. I don't know what it is in the US. FX? I don't know. Is that a thing? Watch Reservation Dogs. It's so funny. It's so funny. And there's like heartfelt and just like amazing indigenous humor. It's damn cool. It's only 3 seasons. It's finished. Only like 25 minutes an episode. Go check it out.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I also love that show.
Oh, sweet. I'm glad you saw it.
I will check it out.
All right. And with that, we will say good night. So good night, Kajan.
All right.
Good night, Darth Bob.
Good night.
Good night, Tactical D-Bag.
Night.
And good night to all the folks at home. Bye.